Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Yes, Joey only sitting here back home. Went and spent the afternoon hiking to the very top of Sliding Mountain here in Wells. In a couple hours, I'll put a video out of that. There's a couple shorts already up that you can look at. But for now, you are going to be hearing about thunderstorm potential. And one thing, reason why I bring up my mountain hike was that while I was up there, I managed to take some nice videos of some mare's tails and things like that were streaking across the north sky there, telling me that, hey, something's coming your way, dude. And I said, I know, let's talk about it.
There it is. This is bad news. My God. Right now. Anything could happen. Get on!
I'll watch the video later. Big time up in this. Okay, hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude's back here again, and I appreciate all the support, all the love, all the gifts, all the super donations, and all the memberships. You're keeping me alive here, friends. Yep. It was a nice day today, but all in all, it's been rain a lot in my zone, and I've not had work yet this year, and I'm scared that there's not going to be any. So we better keep talking weather a lot now. Okay, it's been the summer of no summer around here lately. This summer, as a matter of fact. Sucks, really sucks, but some promising signs that high pressure is taking up most of the North Pacific now. That is threatening to steer our storm track up into Alaska, which would give BC some summer weather finally. Now we're looking at the 500 millibar animation, one of my favorites, because it's generally the mechanism that delivers our weather, the Jetstream. And here we see that, the Jetstream's pretty weak through most of this. In fact, let's start it again and watch. Jetstream is pretty weak. Open, letting some warm air in, in the west. Not bad, not bad. Coming through the weekend. The low pressure is there, you can see. And it's going to work itself out eventually, I hope, and move out. And here's some of this stuff threatening to come in. So we're going to have to wait and find out if this manifests or if this gets steered further to the north. So, I mean, looking this far out, looking at the 23rd of July, I'm not willing to say yet, the jet stream's going to come back to the south of us and we're going to get some shit flung at us. That's too far out. But what I do take from all of this is just the fact that we really have a weakened jet stream right now, and that may allow for some heat to come into the province, into the Western Canada in general. Now, look, the weather's shitty on the east half of the continent. It's nice on the west half. That's something you see all the time in weather, and this is no different here. So those streaking mare's tails in the north there were telling me while I was on top Sliding Mountain that this shit is out there and it wants to come on south. So when we look at that was yesterday's map, look at today's map, you can see how that's going to stretch on down. And then we got the potential, even in this B area, 1 to 2 centimeter hail. If we're getting 2 centimeter hail in a storm in here, that storm will get severe warned, okay? A area seems to be the greatest threshold for severe threat, moderate threat there. Probability still 50 to 70 kilometer an hour winds to the north of it. You might see 60 to 80 in the A zone. What's happening is there's heat down there. There's warmth, and the warmth is going to butt up against this cooler weather. That's going to slide on down this wet weather. And the contact zone is probably going to be where the strongest thunderstorms erupt as it comes on south tomorrow. And when we look at the prairie side through all of this, although not high risk, again, we do see there is a threat of some funnel cloud behavior in that Grand Prairie segment. I'm going to suggest that if you're near the Alberta border, probably you're going to see that potential as well there, if you're in Pouce-Coupe or somewhere like that or whatever, right? 1 to 3 centimeter hail to the far south of there, which is severe storm threshold by far, for sure. 1 centimeter hail up to the north there. So you could see a thunderstorm that's dangerous in here. As well as you can see 1 centimeter hail in the A area near Thompson, where they could use the rain more than the lightning. On the bad news battle board, everything is either heat warnings in the east or smoke warnings of various kinds in air quality warnings and whatnot in Western Canada. Definitely those fires in Saskatchewan, some of that smoke has made its way south, and anywhere near the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, the visibility is bad. Also, some of those fires are kicking up some smoke up in the north there. We looked at that yesterday. There's been some reduction of burning activity lately, but that doesn't mean that it's zilch. Of course, Alberta got slammed with rain from those storms yesterday that went on through. 71 mils at Beaver Mines. That's a lot of rain for a day there. Calgary International Airport only got 50. So you get kind of the idea that Clare's home at 26.9 is at the bottom of the list. So places along that western sector of, Pincher Creek, Lycan, Crow's Nest, they're all in the western sector of Alberta there, seeing some very heavy rain yesterday. BC seeing heat records, which you would never know it being up here. Daily maximum records have been set today, 32.5 in Malahat there. This is mostly on the west side of the province, southwest side. Qualicum Beach as well, 30.5 on Vancouver Island. Squamish, 33.7. That's a big jump, 1.7 degrees from the old record that was set in 2023. That concerns me always when we see how often we're breaking 2023's records because they were so unbelievable at the time. White Rock, 32.3. They've been keeping records in White Rock since 1929. There's lots of heat records being broken in Newfoundland still, 30 degrees. That's hot for Newfoundland. They got the moderating effect of the ocean there. It should never be 30 degrees for very long in a place like Newfoundland, far up in the Atlantic as it is. So we'll start by looking at the HRDPS model showing what we'd expect at 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. Very warm up in the Northwest Territories. That's bad news for their fires. Some of that heat skooking on down into Fort Nelson area. That's going to pick up some fire activity there for sure. Watson Lake at 23. Some pretty nice temperatures there tomorrow. Of course, you can kind of see where these thunderstorms are predicted to come on down through as we look into the BC interior here. 25 in Williams Lake, 30 Kamloops, 31 Kelowna. Probably going to be warmer than that. 21 in Quesnel, 20 Prince George. You can definitely see some of the areas where we expect our thunderstorm behavior to be active. We'll look at the convective available potential energy. What are we looking at for that? High Cape values in High River in the Northwest Territories. Going to see some very strong thunderstorms up there, possibly severe. Crazy stuff. Severe possible in the Peace for sure. Maybe isolated, yes. Definitely have a lot of Cape value in the interior, central interior. That is the truth of that. But look at this. Look at these values. They're up to almost 2,000 joules per kilogram. This is far north, man. These are like tornado values. It's nuts. It's nuts. And some of that energy squeaking on down here, and this is the area where they think the funnel clouds may be more or less possible on the Alberta side. If we look at rain and thunder and what's going on there, what are we looking at? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're seeing those cells just starting to reach the Prince George region on their way on south. So expect a lot of your weather to be coming sort of out of the north, more so tomorrow. Large low pressure trying to build. And then you can see as this moves on down and begins to change direction a little bit, that is a signal. That signal, I think, when you see how the storms have, watch this again. This is our storms. They're coming south, and the low is moving on down, and watch what the low does. It's going to, at some point, begin to move off, and you'll see those storms change direction. I think that's why in this Kamloops, Kelowna area, that sort of area right where the top of that low pressure is right there, I think that's why you're going to see, look at the 31-degree heat. Kamloops, you got to butt that up there. Then you have storms that are changing direction. They're hitting a different change. Okay, what's that going to do? It's going to whip them up. It's going to whip them up into stronger and angrier storms. So we're going to watch this one that might tail off there. Well, we're going to backtrack for a second. Thunderstorms beginning to pop up in the Prince George and Caribou by noon, possibly. That looks like some strong energy. Right there, heading down by Williams Lake at that time. And that came from, looks like my area is going to see some strong thunderstorms tomorrow. That would correlate to what I seen in the mare's tails today. That seemed to really be a hint for me. So we're looking at some pretty strong storms in the Caribou. Some of those can turn severe, as we know. And we know that there's a pretty high risk, a moderate risk at least, of a very strong thunderstorm breaking out as that weather begins to change direction. Thursday, we're going to see more of that thunderstorm behavior, but to the southeast, squeaking into Alberta side, northern Saskatchewan exploding in thunderstorms again, the Northwest Territories exploding in thunderstorms again, and that will be the case for a number of days. As we come into Friday, we are again going to see strong thunderstorms in the Caribou. We'll be talking about all that and more in the coming episodes. I hope that gave you just a little bit of a hint as to what we're expecting on Wednesday for strong thunderstorms in the BC interior. Please hit like, share, subscribe. Like I said before, help the guy, help the dude, help me stay here, stay cool, and keep producing content for all of you. Okay, stay safe out there. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.